What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Face Off Sports Network. I'm Anthony Servino with Pete Terranova at Supernova 38. Football Sunday, NFL Week 12, fantasy playoffs right around the corner. If you need wins, we're going to try to help you get there. Pete, what's going on?
What's going on? Week 12, a lot of buys, a lot of stuff to sift through, a lot of players that we don't really want to be starting, but we don't really have much of a choice. But yeah, ready to roll, and let's get it cracking. So before we get questions, I mean, I'm sure they'll start to load up. I know we've talked about a few games. Is there any game that sticks out to you in terms of like what do you think is going to be the most fantasy points? Like what game this week you think provides the most fantasy points?
Detroit Indy is one that jumps out. I think a deceptive one is actually Baltimore and the Chargers, because the Chargers have a good defense, a really good defense, but we saw last week that a good offense can get over on them as Cincinnati put up some points. I think this Baltimore Chargers game, it's either going to be really low scoring or it could fire past the total.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, after Baltimore lost, I feel like they're going to kind of come out swinging. And I don't know. I mean, that's the one thing that worries me. Like, I love the fantasy assets in that game, but for some reason, I just feel like this Ravens team's going to come out really pissed off after last week's loss to the Steelers, who just lost to the Browns, and both of those teams lost to the Browns this year. So, yeah, I mean, but I still feel pretty confident about guys like Ladd. QJ is not even a bad flyer this week too, if you got a lot of buys this week. So, but yeah. So we got some questions that have kind of rolled in. So let's just get right into it. Jared Fortin said, bye week hell, PPR, do I play Waddle and Jennings or play one of these over one Alec Pierce, Demario Douglas, Demarcus Robinson, Palmer, Leggett? I mean, I probably would stick with Jennings and Waddle here. I know the quarterback situation's sketchy, but I don't really. I mean, Waddle has an amazing matchup this week. There's risk, but there's risk with the other guys too. So give me the better player in Waddle and Jennings here.
Waddle, I actually kind of like, and I haven't taken many, if at all, Waddle props. I'm actually going to take his yards, and I might take him to score today. He normally does play well against New England. It's a home game. This could be, and everybody's going to be off of Waddle today. Yeah. I think there's ever a chance to use Jalen Waddle. It's today. Jennings scares the hell out of me. I don't know what this quarterback situation is going to look like. Green Bay, they have a good defense, but they are really good in the secondary. I'm very tempted by Alec Pierce against Detroit. He doesn't get a lot of targets, but he gets a lot of deep shots, maybe 2 or 3 deep shots a game. They connect. If you don't trust Jennings because of the quarterback situation, I might go Alec Pierce. That would be my pivot.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I for me, it's Waddle and Jennings. Jair Alexander, I don't think is playing again. So that helps from a defensive standpoint. But yeah, I think this 49ers team is going to cover. I think they're 10.5 on the road. I think they're going to cover today. Let's see. Sup, fellas? Flowers or Cup non-PPR? And then UOO26. Should I swap Bears defense for Green Bay? Yeah, I would start Green Bay this week over the Bears. I don't hate the Bears defense, but, we just talked about the 49ers. Like, I would take Green Bay. Now, the Flowers over Cup thing, I'm sitting Flowers in a few leagues. I'm starting Josh Downs over him. Cup has a tough matchup too, though. I mean, would you have a lean here on this one?
Cup gets you said a tough matchup. Philly, they're an ascending defense, but they're also a young secondary. They played well against the Cowboys. Has Philly really played anybody of note? I mean, they did shut down Burrow and company on prime time.
Yeah, but Chase had 9 catches in that game too.
Yeah, he had a good game. And this is Stafford. He's battle tested. He's seen everything. Like, there's nothing Vic Fangio's going to throw at him. Plus, the Eagles have 2 rookies in their defensive backs. Like, I'm kind of tempted by Kupp here. In non-PPR, we are looking for touchdowns, or at least that's what I look for in non-PPR is scoring. And I see they're using Kupp in the red zone a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go with Cooper Kupp over Flowers.
Yeah, and I'm expecting Quinyon Mitchell to cover Nakua in this matchup. So Kupp should have a relatively easier matchup over the two. It's still a tough defense, but to your point, they've been stingy the last few weeks, but I think they can be had. And this is also a different offense. Like last week, like everybody was worried about Terry McLaurin, but I mean, there's no pre-snap motion, no creativity with Cliff Kingsbury. He pretty much leaves Terry on an island by himself.
And that's historic with Cliff, by the way. He did that with DeAndre Hopkins, and I think it even goes back to his college days.
Yeah. So, I mean, with all that, I just think like this is McVay will have a lot to throw at them. I think there's a chance that the Eagles are on upset alert today. We can get more on that. I don't mind taking the Rams at plus 130 today to win.
Is it an upset, though?
Well, I mean, I would say it's an upset. But, I mean, the Rams are at home, too. And it's a West Coast game. Eagles got to travel to the West Coast. Now, it is a night game, which helps. But, yeah, I don't know. I like the Rams today, man.
I'll know a little bit closer to game time which way I'm going to go. But I'm leaning Rams here as well. And again, I don't think it's that much of an upset because Philly hasn't looked good offensively. Like, if this comes down to Jalen Hurts having to throw the football, the Rams are going to win this game. They got to get Saquon going because Jalen Hurts is not throwing the football well right now.
Yeah. And no Devonta Smith either. You know, he's down a weapon. So
the Goddard props should be fired up. Most certainly.
Yeah. I mean, Goddard looks like he's in a good spot. I mean, this season at least in the 4 games with Brown out over the last 2 seasons, he's got 14.8 fantasy points. So he's been good when one of these receivers are not playing.
Yeah.
All right. Hoseman says, good morning, fellas. Should I start Stroud or Mayfield 6-point passing touchdown? I like Mayfield more today. I like his legs. He goes up against the Giants. I know it's sketchy because they could be blowing them out, but here's the thing that people got to realize. This Bucs team is 4-6. They're not going light on anybody. They need to win. They're not putting their foot off the gas. They're 4-6. They cannot lose this game. It doesn't matter how many points they're up. They're not going to, you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to pussyfoot around this game. Like, they need to win. So give me Mayfield in a game that I think will be a little bit more competitive.
Now, for context, I do like Nico Collins today. But Nico can have a great game and CJ Stroud can still throw for 200 yards and a touchdown. He does that a lot. And Stroud, the only other time he played Tennessee, not great, right around 15 points. It was a 26-3 victory. I've always said it. CJ Stroud, I said it going into the season when Stroud had all the quarterback hype and rankings. I said he's a better NFL quarterback than he is for fantasy. And I think we're starting to see that a little bit. I'm happy going Baker Mayfield. And I don't put too much stock into, it's a blowout. It just seems like today's NFL, I feel like, 80% of the teams will just keep scoring.
Yeah.
I agree.
Detroit, for Christ's sake. I was just about to say, look at Detroit. Yeah. I mean, so, but all right. So it sounds like you prefer Mayfield then. Trone. Oh, wait. We do have a super chat. Give me one sec, Trone. Stephen Drakes with the $5 super chat said, do we have any faith in Abdullah today and for the possible future, or should I pick up Akers as my Jones handcuff? Look, I'm starting Amir Abdullah in a couple spots today. Am I excited about it? No. I think he catches a couple of passes. I think he scored on Denver the last time they played. So I mean, I don't hate starting him in a pinch today. I'm not going to have my hopes aren't up, but you're looking for like 8 to 10 points. Cam Akers has been getting the rock a little bit more, but I read something that said the Vikings like lead the NFL in stuff rate when it comes to running backs. So like that doesn't really bode well. So I'm going to go with Abdullah.
Uh,
If you're starting him, if you're looking to pick up a handcuff, then pick up Akers. But if you need to start somebody today, I'd pick up Abdullah.
Yeah, I agree if you need the immediate starter with Abdullah, but long term, I want Cam Akers. He's been getting more snaps, more opportunity every week. Aaron Jones is kind of on a downswing, a 4-game streak without scoring and under like 12 and a half PPR points. They might want to preserve him a little bit for the playoffs or for December games. But so, yeah, long-term Cam Akers, short-term, like today, I don't mind Abdullah, but temper expectations. There are conflicting reports from Raiders beat writers. One of them, Vic Taper, has been there a long time, is saying that Lobby is going to get a lot of playing time.
Yeah, it feels like a trap, man. I think Labe will get playing time. I don't know, man. I mean, Antonio Pierce is coaching for his job. Like, if Amir Abdullah at 31 years old is the better guy at this point, like he's not looking to develop players. He's on the hot seat. I mean, I think he's going to get canned after this year. So to me, like, yeah. So I could be swayed either way, but I prefer Abdullah today. Dan with the $2 super said flex 2 full PPR, Debo, Jennings, Pollard, Neighbors. I'm going to go with Neighbors here, and I'm probably going to go with Debo.
Neighbors one gets a great matchup. He should be hyper targeted by DeVito. And Pollard, he's not been great the past few weeks. Houston, what they do really well, you could throw on them. You really can't run on that defense. It's difficult to. So it's really between one of the 49ers receivers. I think I lean Debo today over Jennings because Debo can do more. Like, they're going to have to be creative.
Yeah.
And, maybe he sees a carry inside the 10, inside the 5, and finally scores as a runner. But they're going to have to be creative against Green Bay to score.
Yeah, I think they're going to manufacture touches for him. I worry about Neighbors too because we haven't really seen the connection with Tommy DeVito. But we got to expect that this team will be down. And
Can it be worse?
Secondary. No, I mean, probably not. Yeah, probably not.
And you have to think, during the bye week, DeVito was practicing with the ones. I know that Daniel Jones' announcement came this week. DeVito was already practicing with the starters.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he's been, at the start of the bye week, hey, you're our guy. Even though it wasn't announced. Yeah.
Probably had an idea. Yeah. Trone said 2 wide receivers in a flex, Tyreek, Kupp, D-Hop, McLaurin, and JSN. I mean, I think Tyreek's going to smash. I think the Dolphins, this is a get-right game for them. They crazy enough, they are not too far out of a playoff spot. They're not out of it. And they're in Miami, warm weather. This offense always looks better in Miami. So give me Tyreek for sure. Give me Kupp and give me McLaurin. I like D-Hop a lot today. I like his over, but I'm not starting him over those 3 guys.
Yeah, these are all good fantasy options today. Tyreek's a must. New England on paper, it's a tough matchup. Look what the Rams did to them last week.
Yeah.
So, like, these elite offenses should be able to score the football at a high rate. So, Tyreek won. I think I go Kupp here as well. It's hard between the other 3. I'm willing to go McLaurin or JSN over DeAndre Hopkins. It's just, I think I'm leaning JSN here. He's been red hot, and there could be a lot more points for it, or in this Arizona-Seattle matchup. Like, there's a where I think McLaurin has a good game, but this should be a game dominated by the running backs.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it actually kind of segues into another question. So it's good that we kind of got that. Moat Mills with a $2 super said, Kyler or Bo Nix? I have Marvin Harrison Jr. and McBride. Thank you. I'm not really too big on stacking unless it's best ball. Like, I'm not going to pick a quarterback because I want the stack unless it's DFS or best ball. I'm of the opinion you play your best guy. I'm not starting Kyler because you have Marv and McBride. That being said, both of them have decent matchups. The Raiders give up the 4th most points to fantasy quarterbacks over the last 4 weeks. And if you scroll down to Seattle, I mean, Seattle's 10th. So, I mean, I'd go with Bo Nix, to be honest with you. Divisional matchups are always kind of hard to read, but I prefer Nix in this spot.
I've been going Kyler all week a lot. Knicks earlier this year, right around 25 quarterback points against the Raiders. Kyler in his career, he averages 23 a game against Seattle. Both good plays, both good matchups. I think the decision here is, do you want to put all of your eggs in that one basket with the stack? Because let's say this game is low scoring. I don't think it's going to be, but let's say it is. Then you'll have 3 players that are going to potentially be down for you to where you can still have a piece of that high scoring total and also go Bo Nix and kind of hedge a little bit.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. We do have a couple more super chats. I do want to get back to this one here.
But on a normal basis, I would actually go Kyler, but in this situation, I would hedge with Nix.
Yeah, because if the whole offense is a mess, that's definitely fair. I want to get back to this question only because he came back and just we can answer it quick. He said, I'm also starting CMC, but that could burn me if I swap for Green Bay defense only. Yeah, look, I'm not worried about people have brought that up too with defenses and like, this like someone said, do I bench Broncos defense because I have Brock Bowers and if he scores like if players score touchdowns, like that's not going to kill your defensive output in fantasy. It's the accumulation of yards. If the defense can't get a turnovers or sacks, you really want turnovers and sacks. Points are going to happen. It's volatile, up and down in yards, but like CMC could score 3 touchdowns today. But if Brandon Allen or whatever his name is gets sacked 5 times, your defense is going to be fine this week, right?
Like even like if let's say you have the 49ers defense and I'm in a situation where I had to pick them up, I have Green Bay winning this game. I have Green Bay putting up production, but kind of what Pete's saying, Jordan Love makes mistakes. There's interceptions to be had. The 49ers can rush the passer. So like let's say Green Bay puts up 21. The 49ers can save your day by getting a couple of sacks, interception. So yeah, like I think that's kind of like I don't know what the word is for that, Pete, but like you can start your defense and still have players going against them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's like that's the thing. Unless you think like, hey, like, your quarterback is going up against the defense you're starting. Okay, I can understand that. But like a position player, CMC could have a great day, but Brandon Allen can throw for 110 yards, right? Like, so Mad Mech sent us in a super chat and then he sent his comment in after. He said Dobbs, Christian Watson, or Ridley full PPR. 2 out of the 3 he has to start. I'm going to ride the hot hand with Ridley, and I'm going to ride Christian Watson here. Watson's been coming on, and Ridley's been phenomenal the last 5 weeks. So,
yeah, I agree with that over Dobbs.
Okay. And then we have another super chat here from our buddy Fredo. He said Brian Robinson Jr. or Walker. This Arizona defense can give up rushing yards, but I'm starting Brian Robinson. His prop is at like 75 rushing yards today. I think he scores a touchdown. I think you're probably in for at least 15 fantasy points from him. Probably 12 to 15 is his floor, in my opinion.
This is tough because I do like both this week. The easier matchup is obviously Brian Robinson Jr. There's a world with the type of goal line usage he gets. He gets into the end zone twice. And then you have Kenneth Walker. He normally does show up and play well against Arizona. Is there any way you could start both? Like, I don't know who you have in your flex or what that situation is. Like, I think I lean Brian Robinson, but what does the rest of your team look like? I know it's just like let us know some more information. Who's in your flex? Because I really want to start both.
Yeah.
If you could.
I mean, Brian Robinson's got 14.2 PPR points per game, makes him RB24, just ahead of Rashad White. I mean, Brian Robinson's been good. Both these guys are good options, like Anthony said. I would send us in your team again, and we can maybe try to see if there's anybody on your bench you can swap. Anti-Slayer. Oh, okay. Anti-Slayer said flex 1 DK Ridley or Neighbors. Give me DK Metcalf this week. I think we're in for a big game. I saw this stat from Fantasy Points. Cardinals who run cover three at Cardinals run cover three at the seventh highest rate this season. Metcalf's been phenomenal against that coverage. He against all coverages, he's 25% target per route run, and his first read target share is 27 against all coverages. But when it's just cover three, it bumps up from 25 to 32 first read target share and 34 targets per route run. So he gets a pretty nice increase, and his prop is 64.5 on FanDuel. So I like DK Metcalf a lot today.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite games, fantasy and betting wise. I was talking about a same game parlay. So my answer is obviously DK Metcalf, but like a same game parlay, I'm going to run for touchdowns today. Walker, James Conner, both have a history of scoring in this matchup. And then I'll also throw DK Metcalf and Marvin Harrison Jr. What's odd here, because people worry about Kyler has not scored a rushing touchdown in this matchup since October of 2020.
So that's actually a pretty interesting nugget there.
Obviously, anything can happen anytime. It's Kyler around a goal line, but James Conner has scored a touchdown in all but one matchup since in his career. And that's including one game against Pittsburgh or with Pittsburgh against the Cardinals. So, like, Connor just dominates Seattle.
Yeah. Mode said, thanks, fellas. Always appreciate your time and feedback. Yeah, man. Thanks for jumping in. Let's see where we are. Fredo coming in again with another $5 super. Appreciate the generosity, man. Said Mike Evans, AJ Brown, or Nakua. This is like an impossible question. I probably would sit Puka, Puka, and it's probably between Evans and AJ. But I think I start AJ Brown. I know you're gonna be upset, but he gets a good matchup against the Rams. No Devonta Smith. I think this is going to be a competitive game. Give me AJ Brown.
I put out a tweet. Evans destroys the New York Giants. Over 120 yards 3 times. I think he scored a touchdown in all 6 career. Like he destroys New York. I love the historical aspect of it. It's between him or AJ Brown for me. Again, this is no situation. How do you have all these good players? You can't use them all. Like, I'd love to, especially on buy me get. Like, this is insane.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a much better spot than most of us are this week with the guys that we have to start.
I guess my biggest concern with AJ Brown is he's been so quiet. And he's been quiet, and I just don't love how Jalen Hurts is throwing the football. I think he has the higher ceiling, but I think the safer play is Evans for me. I don't know. He hasn't had a 20-point game. This is AJ Brown since his second appearance of the year. Because remember, he had week 1, he went off. Then he didn't play for a 3-game injury and a bye. Then he pops against Cleveland, 19 against the Giants in a 4-game streak without a touchdown and under 15.9 PPR points.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I guess the best thing I would say is I don't think you're going to be disappointed. With whichever guy you end up playing. All right, let's see what else we've got. The Real Guam said, who should I start and bench? Tank, Waddle, Myers. I guess I would be wondering like how many you get to start, but if we would rank them, I would say it's Waddle, it's Tank, and it's Myers in that order from starting to sitting.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back to Fredo here because he sent in a third super chat. So I want to make sure he gets a priority, and then I will get to Lunchbox and then GK. And then if we don't have any super chats, we'll get to where we are on the regular chats. He said Barkley is my RB1. I used Pickens as my flex, unfortunately. Okay, so that was his response as to why he can't play one of those. He can only play one of those receivers.
Oh, okay. So. And you know what? I can't follow you. I would have said Pickens too. I absolutely loved, and he had opportunities. Like this, to me, this wasn't a bad play by you. He had opportunities, and he had that one in the end zone where I guess he just got lost in the snow, and Russ threw a little bit behind him. Pickens couldn't find it, and then Calvin Austin goes off. So it wasn't a bad play. It just didn't work out. I had Pickens everywhere too.
Yeah. I am answering some questions in the chat while I'm pulling things. Lunchbox said JD or Bo Nix, Flex Chuba or Adam Thielen. Yeah, I mean, give me Jaden Daniels. He's not that he's hit a dry spell, but like from a fantasy perspective, like he hasn't given us what we've wanted the last few weeks. And this is an extra game to prepare. They had a mini bye because they played on Thursday night last week. I love Bo Nix, but give me Jaden Daniels this week. And then from a flex standpoint, Chuba or Thielen is pretty gross. I would go with Chuba just in case he gets receiving work if they're down and playing from behind.
It's Bo Nix is actually very tempting here. 2 straight games from Jaden Daniels under 15 points. He's been, money most of the year, but obviously, 3 out of the past 4, Carolina, then the past 2, Pittsburgh, Philly, which were tougher matchups. But like, this is Dallas. You would think like Washington needs to get back on track. This is a get right game. So I'm going to go Daniels here as well, but you can't go wrong with both. But if Daniels doesn't get back on track here, and if this Washington team doesn't get back on track, then I think they're a little bit of a Fugazi unit.
All right, and last super chat, and then if we don't have anybody else, we're gonna start back towards the top. Mr. Skrilla, if you're listening, yeah, Cards defense over the 2 that you had asked in the chat, by the way. GK said PPR, D Hop, or Quentin Johnson, Kraft or Shoemaker. Shoemaker's interesting, man. Very interesting.
Last week in like 2 quarters, 2.5 quarters.
I think I go D-Hop. I think this is a get-right game for him. I think he bounces back after a slow week last week. I love QJ this week too, but give me D-Hop in that one. And then, I mean, I'm gonna go with Shoemaker. Tucker Kraft is gonna have to deal with Fred Warner all day. So give me Shoemaker. I like his upside a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm going to go Schoonmaker here as well. He's going to get volume regardless. Kraft doesn't get volume. He had 1 game over, actually 3 games with more than 5 targets this year. Only 1 last week against Chicago. And then you get the 49ers this week. They're 6 against tight ends. He's very touchdown reliant. And it seems like a lot of the bigger games he's had, like especially here, like since week 7 on 3 and 4 targets. So very big player, touchdown reliant player. At least Schoonmaker is going to give you a floor. Even if he does, like he can catch, 6 for 30 and you're still getting 10 PPR points. And then the other part of this question, I'm probably leaning DeAndre Hopkins. Carolina's middle of the pack against wide receivers. But this should be a game like we've seen Houston do it against Dallas. We saw Jacksonville get lit up by the Lions. Chiefs lost their first game. I think they're going to want to come out and dominate this football game and show everybody, hey, we had a little bit of a hiccup, but we are still the Chiefs. And I think they're going to show this offense is for real. So I will go Hopkins here because that narrative worked with Houston and Detroit. And I think if I'm Kansas City, I want to go show the world because people are going to start doubting Kansas City.
That's usually when they end up doing the best. So
yeah.
All right. So we're pretty much all caught up on the super chats. We're going to go back to where we left off in the comments. We've got a lot to get to. So if you have a super chat and you don't have time to wait, send it in. If not, we'll try our best to make sure we hammer through all the questions that we have. Let's see. Zone Reed Fantasy. Been waiting a little bit. Said half PPR, need a flex. Pollard, Reed, Downs. Also have McLaughlin as my kicker, but I can go pick up Cyber. I like McLaughlin this week. I would start him. Hoff is usually our guy that does that. So go check out his video in the archives. If he might have some more insight. He picks 3 a week that he likes. And then I would start Josh Downs. I love Josh Downs this week against a good matchup in Detroit. And they got to be competitive, this Colts team. And I think Anthony Richardson looks like he's a little bit more comfortable. So give me Josh Downs.
I'm going to go Downs here. I keep saying he's quarterback proof. He's matchup proof. He gets the Lions, which is a really good matchup. I expect a lot of points in that game. And then I like Cyber. He's been money all season long up until the injury. If you can get him rest of season, I think that's the way to go.
That's fair enough. All right, let's see what we got. Dave Flynn with a super chat said Kyler or Anthony Richardson, Addison or Johnston. Give me Quentin Johnston over Addison. I am over the Jordan Addison experience. That offense is super inconsistent, man. Seems like they're kind of teams are figuring things out against them a little bit. That Vikings team. Kyler or Anthony Richardson's interesting. I'm going to stick with Kyler though because that Colts game, while I like Josh Downs, it can get away and messy rather quickly, where Kyler, that game should be competitive the entire time. I see a world where the Lions blow out the Colts today.
Yeah, I am also going to lean Kyler here. Historically does well. I project a high-scoring game. I don't mind Anthony Richardson over some guys, but not over Kyler because, again, we have that historical track record against Seattle where Kyler does play well. Addison gets the Bears, number one against fantasy receivers. He's hard to trust anyway. Quentin Johnston doesn't get a lot of volume, even though last week he had his most volume year. He had 8 targets, but he only caught 2 for 48 and a touchdown. So that's really what we're going to get. Like, we're expecting points in this one. Baltimore is the easiest matchup for wideout, so he could potentially extend his scoring streak to 4 games. So I'll go Johnston.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm willing to eat crow on him. I was completely out on him this year.
Me too.
He's strung together a nice couple of games, and it looks like he's finding his identity.
I'm gonna go fill up my water.
Okay. All right. Let's see how many I can hammer at here. Ethan Gonzalez, thanks for waiting, said half PPR, Abdullah Pierce or Westbrook Akine. Give me Westbrook Akine today. I have him scoring a touchdown. I think he scored in 5 out of his last 6. I like Akine. If it wasn't Akine, I'd go Abdullah just for the floor. Pierce would be the second guy in terms of if you want upside. I think Abdullah has the least amount of upside, but is the safest play. I think Westbrook Akine is my favorite play out of the 3. Ross said Otten, Disley, or Disley, Kittle, or Ertz. Disley's got a great matchup. Give me George Kittle though. I know it's really between Kittle or Otten. Otten gets the Giants, who have actually been really good against tight ends this year. Kittle gets the Packers. Packers. Let's see. Packers over the last 4 weeks have been middle of the pack, 15th when it comes to ranking in terms of points allowed. Give me Kittle this week. I think Giants are the 3rd toughest. They average 7.87 a game, so that's why I don't want Otten. It would be between Kittle and Disley for me. I could be swayed on Disley. He gets a little bit more of a favorable matchup in the Ravens in a game that should be higher scoring, in my opinion. Gray Matter said J.K. Dobbins or Bucky Irving. Give me Bucky Irving all day. Christian said Trey Benson or Justice Hill. PPR. Both of these guys. I mean, give me Trey Benson. Justice Hill only gets in usually in receiving work and receiving downs. I think they're going to be up in that game, so I think it's more of a Derrick Henry game. And Trey Benson's been getting involved more and more. Basher said, "Morning, everyone. With Purdy out, should I roll the dice with Jennings or start Coker, Boudier, or Michael Wilson?" I would start Jennings still. I would start Jennings, best player. The other guys are just as risky, so give me the better player. Dan said, "Hey guys, having a hard time figuring out who to play at the flex. Half PPR scoring: Amir Abdullah, Demario Douglas, Trey Benson, or Tucker Kraft." Yeah, give me Demario Douglas. Don't like the matchup for him, but I mean, Abdullah is probably going to feast on just a couple of receptions, maybe gets into the end zone. Don't really love these I don't really love any of those options. Lindsay said Cup or Metcalf. Give me Metcalf today. Paul, what's up? Paul said, "Hey guys, I just traded CD, Pacheco, Irving for Puka, Pollard, and White. How did I do?" I think that's a great trade. Puka and CD are pretty much a wash. We don't really know what we're going to get with Pacheco, and Rachaad White has a phenomenal schedule rest of the season. So I think it's a good trade.
Yeah, solid. I'd rather have Puka. That's the one I want. I want to off CD Lamb. There's a world where he's an injury away. Everybody else in Dallas, look how many players are out. I saw a tweet from their beat writers, over $100 million of cap space out today.
crazy.
So it's just one of those years. Like, why are you going to keep risking CD Lamb serious injury around like literally third and fourth string guys? So get rid of him, because there's a world where he's going to be placed on IR with a broken thumb.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and he said he has Henry and Connor. So, yeah,
Yeah.
you're fine with those two guys and getting Pollard and White. I like Puka, like Anthony said, best player in the deal at this point. MVM, me vale madre. $5 super, sit one. Nico Evans, A-Chain, Kyron Williams, Tracy JSN. Heard it's raining in Seattle. Honestly, it's really between Kyron and JSN. I think I said JSN though. I don't really love Kyron this week, but I like the matchups for everybody else that you have listed. So yeah, I'd sit JSN.
Oof. I like JS. I like that. That he's playing well. I like points in that game. You just have a lot of really good players. It's between Kyron and JSN. I don't want to sit Kyron. He's been on a little bit of a cold streak. Maybe this is a game where he gets back into the end zone. So I'll sit reluctantly JSN, but it's hard. Like, you literally have a lot of like an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, MVM. I think that might be your first time sending one into us, so we appreciate that. If you're a new subscriber, let us know. We'd love to hear that in the comment section as well. And if you're haven't liked the show yet, please go ahead and do so. And if you're watching and aren't subscribed, go ahead and hit that bell icon and subscribe to our channel. We're pumping out a lot of content. Brian O'Connor over on Facebook said, would you start Will Dissly over Jennings at the flex spot? I would. I would. Will Dissly, it looks like he's carved out a role that we can rely on, and the Ravens are a good matchup for tight ends. And Jennings, while I've told people to start him, those are bad options. This is a good option, so give me Dissly.
I'm in on Will Dissly as well. He's a hot hand at tight end. Really nice matchup against Baltimore in a game that we should see points on Monday night. I think he's been over since week 7, just over 10 PPR points a game and over 6 targets per game. And let's keep that going over Jennings. And we just don't know what that quarterback position is going to be like.
Now, the next one's kind of interesting here. McLaurin or Neighbors from Paris Lopez. I think I'm going to start McLaurin. To me, I need to see it. And McLaurin was held to one catch for 10 yards last week. They have a bye. They have extra time to prepare, and this is a good matchup for him. Dallas is set to get Deron Bland back, but I still kind of like this matchup more for Terry. So give me Terry.
Neighbors interest me because I think there's a world where the quarterback change an upgrade. I like the matchup. There's potential garbage time here. I'm going to go Neighbors. I'm going to go. I'm going to play the matchup.
That's fair. Yeah, that is fair. I mean, I can understand it because one guy is probably going to be on the side of a blowout where they're winning, and the other guy is going to be playing from behind from the side of a blowout. So I can understand that. I'll stick with Terry, but I understand going with Neighbors there. Jason Williams said, who would you start at the flex in half PPR? Juwan Jennings, DJ Moore, Javonte Williams, or Rico Dowdle? Between DJ Moore and Javonte, I mean, it's a good matchup for DJ Moore against this Vikings defense. Javonte Williams has a good matchup too. Revenge game back in Vegas after tearing the ACL. I'm going to go with DJ Moore over Javonte here.
I like Javonte this week. The Raiders give up a ton of production to the running back. I get it's hard to trust Sean Payton and the running back usage. Yeah, but I just think he's the best running back in that backfield, at least right now this season. I'm not quite ready to trust DJ Moore yet. I get the matchup is there, but I feel safer with Javonte.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I mean, I don't blame you. I actually like Javonte. His yards prop is at like 37.5 for rushing, which
That's
I think
it?
which I think is pretty wild. Maybe Vegas is baiting us, or maybe they just have no idea how this running back room is going to shake out. But yeah. So I would start DJ Moore. Anthony would start Javante. And then we did get you, Brian. It looks like you sent your question in twice. We said Disley. Ryan Maloney said bye weeks have absolutely killed me this year. Would you start Keenan Allen, Amir Abdullah, or someone on a bye? I love that we're getting Keenan Allen and Abdullah. I mean, if you told us four months ago that this was an actual question, we would probably. I mean, you think hell would have frozen over? I've gotten this question a lot, and I think I still start Keenan Allen. Maybe. I don't know, man. I mean, I think Amir Abdullah is going to be good for 8 to 12 points today. I think that's probably what he gets with the receptions. But Keenan Allen,
they're saying he's going to play, but he's dealing with an ankle too.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he's gotten since week 8 volume, right? 7, 10, 6, 8 targets. He hasn't crossed 9.4 PPR points yet. I might go Keenan Allen for the floor. I just don't know what this backfield usage is going to look like.
Yeah, I mean, and nope. I mean, no Zamir White, no Alexander Madison, though. I know people are talking about Luabe, but I don't know. I mean, he'll get some burn for sure. Is Dotson a sleeper with Smith out? No. Not starting Jahan Dotson. Smith and AJ Brown have missed multiple games this year, and Dotson hasn't stepped up. So I'm not comfortable playing him. Alanda said half PPR struggle at wide receiver 3. Slayton, Waddle. Slayton has a good relationship with DeVito last year. Pierce or Thielen. Yeah, honestly, the Slayton connection is interesting. I think I still go with Waddle here. You just got to ride your horses, and I know Waddle has been frustrating, but the matchup is there for him, and I think this Miami offense, man, is going to get going today. So give me Waddle.
I'm in on Waddle this week as well. Is it a risk? Yes, but Miami at home, 2 at home's different. We saw New England get lit up by an elite passing attack last week, and I think it happens again.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Kyle Singer said sub and like you guys. Yeah, appreciate that, Kyle. And since you said that, I will pull your question up. He said pick one, Tua or Love. Give me Tua today. I like Jordan Love a lot, and it pains me to sit him. But like I said, I'm gonna ride with what my gut's telling me, and it's telling me Miami's gonna score 30 today.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Tua at home.
Yeah. Kerbo said, would you pick Chuba or Pollard half PPR? Give me Pollard. Especially with half PPR, Chuba's going to feast probably with receptions, but give me Pollard for the volume with Tajay Spears out.
No Miles Sanders, so we're going to see Jonathan Brooks today.
Yeah, we are.
How much does that affect Chuba? I don't know, but it's Kansas City. That's a tougher matchup, and it's not a great matchup for Pollard either. But I'll lean Pollard. I'll roll with Pollard, Pete, with you. Okay. It's just I have them both very similar, but Pollard, he has less of a threat with Spears. I feel like Jonathan Brooks could be a realistic threat. Hey, let's see what this guy has.
Yeah, and it's a tough matchup. And it's half PPR, so like the receptions aren't as valuable. Hulk Smash Yo Mom said with $2 super said Quentin Johnston or Tank Dell half PPR. Yeah, give me Quentin Johnston. I know Tank Dell's been getting involved more, but give me Quentin Johnston. I think I trust him a little bit more right now.
I'll go Quentin more. I trust his quarterback more.
Me too. All right, let me scroll back up. Dylan Fink said, morning, it's game day, full PPR, 3 questions, different leagues, flex, looking for upside, Devon Bailey, Westbrook Akine, and Schoonmaker. I'm going to go Akine there. 1 quarterback, Baker or Kyler. Give me Kyler. And then 1 running back, Akers, Abdullah, Luabe, Gus Bus, or Mostert. Give me Gus Bus.
So I'll go Schoonmaker. I will go Kyler, and then I will go Juice. I don't know. The running back one's the hardest one.
Yeah.
If you need upside, I might roll the dice on Mostert. I know he's kind of been phased out, but they should get a lot of goal line opportunities. Maybe Mostert punches one in.
Okay. So we differ. I said Akina, you said Shoemaker. Both agreed on Kyler, and then you say Gus. I say Mostert. Okay. Arshad Johnson said, "Hey guys, do you like Goff in the dome after a huge performance or Murray after a bye? Please and thanks." Yeah, Goff's got a good matchup. I just worry about starting him weekly because this offense and team has shown that he's not throwing a ton of volume. And he doesn't do anything with his legs. So to me, he could have 188 yards and 3 touchdowns, right? Or so give me Kyler with the legs and the upside coming off a bye.
Yeah, I'll go Kyler as well. Goff went off last week, but he's not going to do that every week, 400 yards passing and all that. He still has a nice game. I think the ceiling is Kyler.
Yeah, me too. Be growing stuff said Jordan Love or Goff.
This is tough.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Goff in the dome. I'll go Goff in the dome over Love outside. I think the weather's supposed to be in the 40s. They said there's possible chance of snow. Give me Goff.
I'll go Goff here as well because I don't know if Jordan Love has to have a big game for them to win today.
Yeah. But Goff doesn't have to either.
But the matchup is softer against that Indy secondary.
I agree. Another super chat from Rock Out. Appreciate that. He said 1 wide receiver, 2 flex. Hunt, Tracy, McLaurin, Harv, and Downs and JMO. So I'm going to go with Downs. I'm going to go with Marv. I like Marv a lot today. And I'm going to go with Tyrone Tracy.
I will go Marvin. I will go Tracy, and it's between Hunt and Downs. I think if you need the ceiling, I would go Downs. If you want the safer plays, Hunt. I think no Pacheco. Hunt could potentially score twice today, and I'll probably sprinkle on his 2 touchdown as well.
Okay, that's fair.
Definitely 1, but that's probably gonna be minus 200.
Yeah. Probably. Mandy with a $2 super said, do y'all like Mike Evans? Do you know if Mike Evans is going to play today for sure? Yeah, he's going to play. And I read, I think it was either Schefter or Rappaport. It looks like he's not going to have limitations. And I said this yesterday on another show, but to me, Mike Evans is the team understands it's important for him to get 1,000 yards. Their time is running out due to the injury. And like I said before, Bucks are not going to take their foot off the gas. I don't care what opponent it is. They're 4-6. They need to win.
And on top of that, their defense isn't good enough to take their foot off the gas.
Yeah.
Anybody can literally climb out of a hole against them. They're so leaky. You can run on them. They're bad against tight ends. They're bad against wide receivers. They can't take their foot off the gas. Even Tommy DeVito could probably climb out of a hole against this defense with somebody like Malik Neighbors and Tyrone Tracy to throw to.
Yeah, no, I agree. Mandy said, shit, my comment didn't go through with the super chat FML. Yeah, no worries. It happens all the time. And sometimes, it doesn't allow you to type as much. So it's all good. I saw it. And then let me see. What was it? There was something else in here. There's a lot of questions. Just trying to sift through. There's a question about your vape. I'm trying to find it.
It is not weed.
Somebody asked, did you see that?
Weed. I know, but everybody's question is that weed? No, it's just 2 milligrams of nicotine.
Somebody said, I can't find the comment anymore, but they said, is that resin or is it regular vape?
Just regular vape. If I smoke, I just like regular weed.
That's fair.
I think the vape is too strong for me. Resin, dabs, I'm too old. Just give me regular weed.
I hear you.
Dabs put me on my ass when I do that, and it's too much.
I haven't done that in years. I don't think I want to touch dabs anytime.
You ever see Grandma's Boy when the guy's like, I just want regular fucking weed? That's me. I just want regular shit.
Well, no, it's what's the one where the guy comes up? It's not Grandma's Boy. It's Half Baked. You've seen Half Baked? And he comes up to deliver the weed at the door, and it's this guy, and he's like, "I got your Pawnee like Palmer."
Yeah.
He just starts going over the exotic weed that he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. Kyrie Ratliff said Wando Robinson or Tank Dell. Give me Tank Dell. I think Wando has a chance, but with Slayton coming in and playing better, Theo Johnson's coming into his own.
I
Tracy,
love Theo today.
his prop's only 20 yards today, by the way, I think, for Theo.
Yeah, I don't like either. I would probably lean Dell as well.
Okay, let's see.
Dell kind of crashed back down to earth after a really great start.
Yeah, he was hot. Mobbin said start one, DJ Moore, Jaden Reed, or JMO. I appreciate you giving us the teams that they're versing. That is appreciated. I'm gonna ride with DJ Moore. I could see the argument for the other two guys. I know he's been tough to start, but I think a bounce back for DJs is happening this week.
It's between Moore and JMO here. I do think JMO can potentially get loose for another score. This might be the DJ Moore week. He actually had a promising game last week, 7 targets. He ran the ball for 5 yards, 7 for 62. Doesn't get into the end zone, but Green Bay's a good secondary. This is the easiest matchup on paper for DJ Moore. And yeah, I think they could potentially build off of last week. I think the OC change from Waldron was the best move they could have made. So in this situation, I'll ride with DJ Moore. He might break the touchdown drought.
Stop if you've heard this before. This is a bounce back week for DJ Moore. I think we've said this like 9 times.
Yeah, but I
got to get it right at least once.
But the OC change, the offense looks different. Yeah. They're using Roshan in a change of pace role and short yardage role, which when the offense was clicking earlier in the year, that was the role he was in. Then they phased him out. And I get Swift was hot, but you need to show the defense different looks too.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you there. Julian said, "Are we starting Jennings?" Ideally, no. But given the amount of buys this week, I'm starting him over guys like Abdullah, Luabe, those kinds of guys. But I'm not excited about it.
Same. It depends on who else you have to start. But the quarterback. What if they go to Dobbs? Like Allen could have a bad half.
I was surprised that Dobbs wasn't the starter. I mean, maybe I'm missing something.
I mean, there's a world where the 49ers, they don't look good today, and Daniel Jones, their starter.
Oh, there we go.
If Purdy's a long-term injury, I said it. Daniel Jones.
As soon as he got cut, I tweeted it out. I said if Purdy does not play this week and the injury ends up being worse than we expected, watch him go there. And you know what's interesting is if Daniel Jones signs somewhere else, okay, for a decent contract, 15, 20 million, whoever picks him up, I read this morning, they will get a compensatory pick. And the 49ers are the best in the league when it comes to picking up comp picks. And why would he not want to go there? So anyway, Lex Diamond said JSN Marv, Neighbors. He is somewhat injured. Pick 2 out of the 3. Give me Marv and Neighbors this week.
Same.
Okay. Mad Max, we answered this. This was your super chat. We said Ridley, and then he said pick 2 out of 3. It was Ridley and Watson. We both said before. Let's see. Mac Haya said Chiefs D versus Carolina, Washington versus Dallas. Past 2 weeks, Dallas has given up 20 and 19 to defenses. Yeah, I like Washington a lot this week. I moved them ahead of the Chiefs yesterday. The thing with the Chiefs is they don't provide as much ceiling. They've provided a good floor, but they don't provide a ton of ceiling. And I think the Commanders will feast today.
Dan Quinn revenge game. When he was in Dallas, he practiced against Cooper Rush. He knows everything about Cooper Rush because his starting defense probably practiced against Rush in the second team offense, or however that works. I think Dan Quinn all week I think his defense is going to score today. I think he wants his defense to score today.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I might tail you. Let's see. What else? Jacob said, "What's up, boys? What's up, Jake? Thanks for jumping in." Rome, the host, said, "Start one: Eckler, Jennings, or Thielen." Give me Austin Eckler today, man. Give me some Austin Eckler.
Same
I know
here.
I love hearing Anthony say Eckler because he hates Eckler. Just fucking hates him.
I do hate him. But he's been really nice for fantasy in a change of pace role. That was the best thing for him to do is to be in a change of pace role at this point of his career, and it worked out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And oddly enough, Brian Robinson's touchdown minus 140. How is that? Mixon was minus 190 on Monday night in this same matchup, and Eckler's plus 145. Like, that's insane.
I mean, you have another capable running back in Eckler, and you also have a quarterback that can run.
Washington's defense plus 600. I love that. I love the value there.
Yeah, I might sprinkle it with you.
And for them to score 2 is 8 plus 8,500 plus 9,000 is just like, how do you not sprinkle like even $5?
Yeah, I was gonna say $5 probably the most.
$5 pays out $450. If there's any matchup where you bet it, it's here.
The Commanders are my favorite streamer on the week, so I would love for that to happen for sure. Jeremy said half PPR, DK Evans, Kyron, or Tracy. Give me Tracy over Kyron today. I don't love sitting Kyron, but give me Tracy over Kyron today. And give me DK over Evans. That's a tough one too, but
wow.
I'm going to stick with DK. I think he has a big day. I think both Evans has a big day. I think Kyron's the easiest one to sit for me.
I'm going to go Evans. I'm really stumped with this Kyron one.
Yeah.
Now, Kyron did play against Philly last year, and they shut him down. And that Philly defense wasn't that good last year. And that was a Rams home game too. Wow. You know what? I'll go Tracy with you.
Yeah, Kyron Williams prop for over 2.5 receptions today, I believe, is like plus 290 to plus 300. That's an interesting one. I threw a couple shekels down on that. Jimmy Nagayan said Tyron Tracy or Aaron Jones. Give me Tyron Tracy. Aaron Jones is becoming more of a split as we get on through the season. I like Tracy's matchup better.
I love Tracy today as well against Tampa. And again, with Tommy DeVito, I think he sees more pass catching opportunities with DeVito rest of the season than he's ever seen with Daniel Jones.
Yeah. We have a super chat. I will get to you in 1 second. Let me just answer Zero Skills since I pulled this question already. Said PPR, Jalen Waddle to get or MVS or drop MVS for Christian Watson. Yeah, I'm dropping MVS for Christian Watson. I know MVS could be solid this year. He's kind of in that Shaheed down the field role. But give me Watson, who's been coming along and probably will be more consistent in my opinion. And I would start. Oh, so this is just asking who to drop, not to start, I don't think. But if you wanted to start somebody, I would start Waddle.
I'm an MVS guy. It's just he just gets so low opportunity to where it's almost like he's like another Alec Pierce, where if they don't connect on their 3 big targets, you're looking at a dud. And if they do connect, you're looking at like 15, 20 PPR points, where Christian Watson, there's a world where he emerges as the top receiver down the stretch. So it's either Leggett or MVS I'm dropping for Watson. I don't mind dropping Leggett. And because MVS could provide you a
I'm with you there. I'm actually with you there.
And then
I would
Thiel's coming back.
I would drop Leggett. You're right. I read the back end of the question as MVS for Watson, but I would drop Leggett. So we have 2 big super chats. Jimmy B coming in here with a $10 super, extremely generous. Thank you so much. Said, so I'm out of playoff contention looking towards next year. I'm keeping Bo Nix, who's costing me a 19th round pick. And I have CMC, Kamara, and Cook. Do I try to trade them away for Chuba, who will cost me a 10th round pick? I think you can get better. Jonathan Brooks coming back. I think Chuba's going to be involved, but I mean, number one, and this is just how I play. I don't want to give any 3 of those guys to a contender for Chuba. I think you need better than that. And if it's going to a contender, you have the leverage here. So like you should be able to get better than Chuba, in my opinion. I would try if you told me Kamara for Bucky Irving, deal. I would do it. I'm sure Bucky's draft pick is probably farther than the 10th round. But yes, Bo Nix at 19th overall, 19th round is a great buy. It's a great hold.
So we're gonna keep. I'm just trying to digest this.
Yeah.
The the thing is, if you're out of contention, you're trying to rebuild. Um, no, I think I would stand pat. It would be tempting to try to move CMC or Kamara and see what we can get for them.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the
You might be
thing
able to get
because
a good. You could probably get something real good for CMC.
even Kamara, like they extended Kamara, and Kamara's having a nice year too.
Yeah.
He might be the one I'm trying to move, but I don't like. I would try to move one of those veteran backs if I can and try to get younger. Chuba, I love Chuba. They gave him a contract. They also have Jonathan Brooks, and that's the thing. Are we going to be staring at, if they're trying to build off of like the Lions model? And the Carolina Panthers have a good offense. Like that's why I was on the Panthers backfield, because this offseason they addressed the O-line. Are they trying to model off that? Then maybe I want Chuba Hubbard, but I don't want Chuba Hubbard. Like I need more than Chuba Hubbard for Kamara or CMC, even with the age differential. Can you get a pick on top of it?
Yeah, that would be my thing. I think you're selling yourself short with this. I mean, honestly, you might be able to package up like CMC and even Cook for A-Chain. But now his keeper price is probably higher, so you're not getting a lot of value there. But you're getting a younger back who probably will be a first-round pick next year. I don't think that's a hot take to say. He's probably A-Chain's probably back end of the first round next year.
But this isn't Dynasty, right? So
no, I'm assuming it's a keeper. It's got to be a
Yeah.
keeper because he's got Knicks in the 19th,
Yeah.
and Chuba would be a 10th round pick. Like that's why I said Bucky Irving, because if it's a keeper, I'd rather Bucky over Chuba in a keeper, and Bucky's probably costs you the same or even less in terms of draft capital.
Yeah, Bucky would probably be around a 12th round pick.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if your deadline's not today, stick with us, and if you have ideas, we can help you out.
And also Wednesdays we have the mediators. They're a Dynasty specific crew that comes on live on Wednesdays.
Yeah. No, 100%. And they do a pretty good
job.
Keeper
Dynasties kind of they go hand in hand.
He said CMC, Kamara, and Cook are unkeepable, so he can't carry them over. I think you're fine trading them. I just think you should try to shoot for better than Chuba, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Another $10 super from Ethan. Appreciate that, man. Super generous. Said pick one, 10 team, one flex. I'm 6-5, first in the division. There are two others that are 6-5 in the other division, and one 10 team. He said, my team is Love, Darnold, Cook, Tracy, Bucky, Pacheco, Chase, Amon-Ra, Nico, Reed, Downs. Okay. So it's one flex. So I'm assuming let's just help him set his lineup here.
Well, he sent another super chat with the rest of the question.
Oh shoot. Okay. Part two. I got an offer. Okay, so that's a Jimmy B sent another super chat and said I'll tune in on Wednesday. Thank you, Jimmy. We'll see you then. And then to answer Ethan, that's the second question is another different question. So let's help him, I guess, set the lineup this week. I would go Love. I would go No, Bengals are on a bye, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I would start Amon-Ra, I would start Nico, and I would start Downs in the flex. I'd start Evan Ingram at tight end, and at running back, I would go Tracy and Bucky.
I feel like part two it's a trade question.
It is, but I don't know if it's.
He said, should I do it or ride with the team I have? So the trade question, it's Chase and Cook for Bijan and Kamara. And this is a team he has. So should he make this deal? Chase and Cook
for Bijan and Kamara. I mean, so his running backs are Tracy, Bucky, and Pacheco and Cook. So I understand the desire for an upgrade there. You're getting Bijan and Kamara. The problem is every week you're going to be sitting deciding, do I start Kamara over Tracy or Bucky this week? And with Pacheco coming back, I think your running backs are okay enough. I don't think I would do this deal. It's not a bad deal, but you're giving up the best player in Jamar Chase, and your running back room should be fine once Pacheco comes back. You have Cook, Tracy, Bucky, and Pacheco. So I don't think I'm taking away. I think you can make a move for it's an upgrade at running back. Like maybe a Jaden, maybe a Reed and I don't know, a Cook for a back, a 2-for-1, but I don't think I would do that deal.
I'm not moving Jamar Chase. I know this rest of season schedule, Chase has a couple of tough matchups, but this is Jamar Chase. It's the Bengals who run an elite offense. You know, these elite offenses, sometimes matchups don't matter. Like we saw that against the Chargers. And they lit them up, and the Chargers were playing lights out defensively. So I don't want to move Chase. Your receivers, if you look, you have like Chase, Nico Collins, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Those alone can potentially win you a league. And then you also have Jaden Reed and Josh Downs. If you're looking to make an upgrade at running back, I'm probably packaging Downs or Jaden Reed with like maybe Cook can get you a significant running back upgrade. Like I want Tracy. I think you're going to be fine with Pacheco down the stretch.
Can you get A-Chain with like a Cook and Jaden Reed or Downs? Yeah. It's possible. Yeah. So I would be shooting for.
You might be able to get JT, which JT hasn't been great of late, but he's still Jonathan Taylor, and that offense could get better.
You might be able to do Jaden Reed for JT straight up, too.
But yeah, I can't get rid of Jamar Chase. When you look, like he has like 70 points more than like the number 2 receiver points right now. Like it's insane. And he's capable of these spike games at any time.
Hey, that's why with the weekly winners on the best ball, I stacked like 5 teams of just Bengals. And I've won 3 times, but I mean, just the bare minimum of what you can win in those. Sleepy said, just subscribed. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And because you said that, I will give you a favor and pull your chat here. And you'll jump the line since you just subscribed. Said, so Chase Brown is sadly out due to his bye week, LOL, but who would be the best plug-in at PPR? Amir for the Raiders, Raheem Mostert, Gus, or Estime? I already know who Anthony's going to say. I actually kind of agree. I would go with Raheem Mostert probably.
Yeah, Mostert. He has the likeliest shot to score. Estime is interesting because if it's a blowout, maybe Estime gets some garbage time and he punches one in.
Yeah. Ethan also said, and the number 2 wide receiver is Amon-Ra. Yeah, we figured that. And
Nico might be a 3 down the stretch, like you know that he has that type of ceiling like these other guys.
Yeah. I mean, so you could have realistically down the stretch the 3 of the top 5 wide receivers rest of the season at this point. Let's see. Chai Wan said, "Love this show, LMAO. Appreciate that." Mo Bobbin said, I saw some smelling
salt
right too.
Yeah.
And Chai Wan said, get on the weed, man, is what he said.
That's for at night when I need to calm down.
I finally found the question. He said he said, what are you smoking? Some rosin or vape? All right, let's go back up. Let's see. We are definitely backed up on some questions here. There's a lot to get to. Should we just start fresh and just have people send them in just to make sure they're still here?
Yeah. If you're still here, right, send in your question.
Yeah, if you're still here, send in your question. I'm gonna start with Anthony here. Who came in
wait, Zach? Did we get Zach? His super?
No, he just came in. I like Herbert. Steve has Herbert as his QB1 this year. I mean, this week. I like Herbert. Give me him.
This is close. I've been on Kyler all week. I'm gonna still slightly lean Kyler Murray.
Okay. Yeah, I mean they're both probably top 5 plays this week. So I could be swayed on either. All right, so we're gonna start at Anthony. Actually, I'm sorry, we'll start at Armin because that was where our last supers came in, and then Armin was the next question. And then if you're still here, just let us know. Hey, I sent my question in, and just resend in the question, and we'll try to get to you. We just want to make sure those people that have been here are still here. Armin said, "Morning, y'all. Otten, Disley, or Debo this week." It's close. I'm gonna go with Debo though. Otten goes up against the Giants. Giants have been good against tight ends. Disley's been phenomenal. I just think that Debo's gonna be manufactured touches today, and I think this 49ers team's gonna play better than people expect today. So give me Debo.
I like the tight ends. If you need ceiling, I think I'm going to go Debo. If you want to play it safe, I'm going Disley.
Fair.
Like Debo just this 49, they don't look right.
No, they don't.
They don't look healthy. They don't look right at all. You know, like how many times can you win? I said the same thing about that. Like when people are you surprised about? No, you can't win 12 games every year and not expect to hit a wall. And I think 49ers fans, they probably like, especially with how the CMC injury started their year, kind of, and the defense, like the writing was on a wall for some of these teams. Like you can't expect, like, unless you're Kansas City with Mahomes or Brady and the Patriots, you're not going to win every year. Windows don't stay open.
I hear you. We'll get to those Twitch questions in just a second, Veets. Like I said, we're just backed up. Super chats always take priority. We're just trying to make sure we get to everybody, and with questions that have been back like 40 minutes ago, we just want to make sure people are still here. Anthony said, and we'll try to rapid fire. It's 10:52. We started a little bit late. We can go to maybe 11:10. So that's about 18 minutes. Is that good with you?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll try to rapid fire. Anthony said in a full PPR league, Quentin Johnson or Jameson Williams. Also in the same league, J.K. Dobbins or Aaron Jones. Give me Aaron Jones over Dobbins this week, and give me Quentin Johnson over Jameson Williams. It might bite me, but I'm bought in on Quentin Johnson this week, man.
I'll go slightly Jameson, but I do like both. There's a world where both do well, but I just trust Jameson more. And I will go Aaron Jones. He's cold, but I like his matchup more. Ravens stopped to run really well. And J.K. Dobbins, he's becoming touchdown reliant. I think he's been under like 60 yards rushing for the past few games.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that like last run last week,
yeah.
That wouldn't have been good. Ralph said last minute question, Shoemaker or Kraft? Give me Shoemaker.
Same here. We had a similar question earlier.
Yeah. Veet said, guys, do I start Stafford or Darnold this week? I don't really love Stafford this week. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really in love with Darnold either, but give me Stafford, who's going to be in warmer weather. Darnold's going to be out in the cold, and he hasn't looked great the last few weeks. Give me Stafford, who's hot right now.
Stafford against Philly. I like that a little bit more. The Bears are racing wide receivers. You can run on them. I'm expecting a nice. That's why I'm like, I don't mind like Akers, Aaron Jones. I think they're going to see a heavy workload.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This one's close. Montgomery or Tyrone Tracy. I love Tyrone Tracy this week. So give me Tyrone Tracy over. Actually, I'm looking at my rankings now. I'll go David Montgomery here. Actually, I'll go David Montgomery.
I think if you want to play ceiling, maybe Tracy, but we know we're going to get him. Even a bad game of Montgomery, it's 12 points and a touchdown.
Yep, absolutely.
And if they start rolling the Colts, he's going to get 2.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Kai said half PPR with Purdy out. Which wide receiver should I start with? AJ Brown, JSN, or CeeDee Lamb? Also need 2 running backs and a flex. I want to start Monty and Gibbs, but also have Walker, Hunt, and B-Rob. So JSN or CeeDee Lamb? Give me Lamb. I mean, here's the thing with Lamb and JSN. I know Anthony loves JSN, but Lamb is getting peppered with targets
and carries.
Yeah, so they're finding ways to get him the ball. It's almost like hey, we know this shit sucks, so like we're gonna please you by making sure you get the ball, because you're out here playing for this disaster organization right now. So give me CeeDee Lamb, and then I can answer the second question. But why don't you get to yours?
I think I might have told you to sit Lamb last week. That was a mistake. I'm pretty sure. I just I didn't expect him to do what he did. JSN's been hot, but I think I will, after seeing the way they use him, I don't mind going with him this week. Am I worried about Dan Quinn? Yes, but somebody's got to touch the ball on offense.
Yeah. And then 2 running backs in a flex. I don't know if it's the same league or not, but I'm fine starting Monty and Gibbs at the same time. Good with that.
Mm,
Walker, Hunt, or B-Rob. Give
God.
me. What'd you say?
I said, "Oh my God, look at all these! Like,
I
how
know.
this is the third person in today's stream who just have too many good players on buy them again."
Yeah, give me B-Rob. I mean, in theory, though, B-Rob was a later round pick. Hunt was a waiver wire pickup, and Walker was like a 4th or
Yeah,
5th
I
round
know, I
pick, so
get
it's
it,
possible.
but it's just like incredible drafting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Would you start B-Rob or would you start Walker or Hunt? I think you like Hunt, right?
I like them all. But the thing is, who are we sitting out of Monty and Gibbs?
If I'm sitting one, it's Monty. But I don't for transparency, I don't have any of these 3 above Montgomery or Gibbs this week. Gibbs is my RB3, Montgomery is my RB10, B-Rob's 13, Hunt is my RB19, and Walker is actually Kenneth Walker is my RB7. I mean, so maybe I would start Kenneth Walker over Monty. I could see doing that, and maybe, but I would start Walker then over B-Rob based on how I feel. So yeah, I would start Walker, Monty, and Gibbs.
Same here. An embarrassment of riches. But if you don't start both Lions, then I might sit Monty for Walker as well.
Okay. One more super chat, and then we'll get back to the live. Dakota Thompson, thanks for the super. Said flex 1, Kittle, Disley, Myers, or Dobbs. Give me George Kittle. I know, I get it. It's tough, but it would be him or Disley. I'm not starting Myers, and I'm not starting Dobbs today.
I have Kittle slightly over Disley. I do expect, like the narrative, quarterback's going to lean on the tight end. And I think that's going to continue. George Kittle's having one of his best years in terms of consistency, week in and week out.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys are still here and not subscribed, go ahead and hit that button and give us a like on the show. It helps us out tremendously. And then let me catch up to where I am. But Dakota, thank you for the super chat. And let's see. We answered Darnold and Stafford. We said Stafford. Mo Then You said Montgomery or Tyrone Tracy. I prefer Montgomery this week. Didn't we answer this already? Oh,
Yeah.
We did. I'm sorry. We're at Juan, who said, who for my wide receiver 2 and a flex? Jefferson as my wide receiver 1. Benches Juwan Jennings, Stevenson, Josh Downs, Worthy, Pearsall, Nick Hay, Westbrook Akine. Tight end is Kittle or Jacoby Myers. I would definitely be starting Josh Downs, and I am going to roll the dice with Westbrook Akine, man. Call me crazy, but I think he's in for a nice day.
I'm going to go Downs and Stevenson.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Too short to do 69. Said Buccaneers DST versus the Giants or Lions versus Indy.
Twitch is a wild world, huh?
It is a wild world.
There's always Steve always says the usernames on Twitch. Very entertaining.
It's like Xbox, PlayStation names kind of thing. So Lions, for transparency, are my defense 7 this week. Bucks are my 9th ranked defense this week. I prefer the Lions.
Yeah, I'll go to Lions as well. You're going to get turnovers potentially from Anthony Richardson, just as you could from Tommy DeVito.
Yeah. Spencer said, asked my question a while ago. Thanks for waiting. Said flex start half PPR. Xavier Worthy, D-Hop, or Bucky Irving. I like D-Hop a lot today, but I'm going to go with Bucky Irving, who I like more out of these 3.
Yeah, I'm with you slightly on Bucky over D-Hop. D-Hop could have a nice game, but Bucky Irving against the Giants, that should be a smash matchup.
Yeah. Nicholas on YouTube said half PPR, DJ Moore, McConkey, Myers, Pollard, pick 2. Ladd is a must start if he's healthy. I know he's banged up a little bit, but I think he's going to play. So give me Ladd, and it's really between DJ Moore and Pollard. I could be swayed on Pollard just because of the volume here, but I'll stick to my guns and go DJ Moore.
Ooh. It's between Moore and McConkey. I will slightly lean Moore. Both great matchups, both great plays, but again, the OC change.
Pick 2, though.
Oh, then Moore McConkey.
Yeah. Okay. So no interest in Pollard or Myers.
No.
Okay.
Definitely not Myers.
Yeah, I could be swayed on Pollard just for volume. Juan came back in and said, should I drop anybody on my bench for Xavier Worthy, Westbrook Akini, or Pearsall? I'm fine dropping Jacoby Myers. I'm fine dropping him. Give me Xavier Worthy, who maybe had a mini breakout last week, or Westbrook Akine, who scored a touchdown in 5 out of his last 6.
Yeah, Myers for Worthy. Like, give me the guy attached to that Chiefs offense. Mahomes back-to-back games, 3 touchdown passes. They could be on the, they could be back in the right direction in terms of offense, but we haven't said that in a long time.
Yeah. Nicholas said Houston or Denver D. They're close. Both are in my tier 1. Denver is my number 1 defense this week, and Houston's number 3. This is the highest I've ever ranked Denver this year, and it's probably going to bite me. I wouldn't be surprised, but I try not to be biased, but I like the matchup too much this week. So
yeah, I'm on Denver too. They should smash Oakland, Vegas, wherever they play.
Don't say it too loud. Over the Moon Film said, who'd you drop to pick up Bucky? ETN, DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, or Jamison Williams? I'm fine dropping ETN in this scenario. I want to hang on to Darnell. That offense gets going again. I want to hang on to JMO, and I want to hang on to DJ.
Yeah, ETN, I guess, the odd man out. All good players. You can't keep them all. Like, I'd rather have Bucky Irving than Travis Etienne. He's just attached to a better offense right now. And did we get Pablo Super?
Yeah, I was just about to pull it up.
Okay.
Full PPR, $2 super. Thank you, Pablo. Said Hopkins, Debo, or Myers this week. Hopkins and Debo. Myers is not startable today.
Same.
Yeah. All right, let me scroll back up. All right, Trone is still here. What's up, Trone? He said, drop the 49ers kicker Moody with Purdy out. Someone dropped the Cowboys kicker, Brandon Aubrey. Better play this week. Aubrey, Eagles, Elliott, or Seattle's Myers. I don't want Elliott. He's been rough, man. I could be swayed on Aubrey. I like Myers, I think, the best. Not going to lie. So give me Myers, but I could understand going with Aubrey.
The thing with Aubrey is they'll try 60-yard field goals.
Yeah.
And he'll make them. So, like, that's the one advantage in Brandon Aubrey is, in a punting situation for most teams, Dallas is going to kick the field goal.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So you prefer Aubrey. Yeah, I'll go with Seattle just because I think they'll be more competitive. But I can understand Aubrey. Nicholas said half PPR, Hawkinson or Laporta this week. Yeah, this is a weird one. We haven't really gotten many questions about either of these guys today. One on Hawkinson. This is the first Laporta question. I don't know. What you have a lean here?
Both. I mean, both are good tight ends by name. I just want to check the matchup for Laporta.
Yeah, I think I like Hawkinson, but yeah,
Laporta has on paper he has a good matchup. He didn't play last week. I don't, with JMO back, we saw that significantly impact Laporta earlier this year, where this could be a Hawkinson game because of how good Chicago is defending wide receivers. Maybe they just funnel him targets. So I will go Hawkinson here as well.
Yeah. Okay. And then let's see. All right. LB Ace said Jonnu Smith or Quentin Johnson for the flex option. Give me Quentin Johnson. John has been great. We didn't like. Not that I didn't like John last week, but we picked a lot of guys over him. We picked Will Dissly over him, so it wasn't really a big miss. But I'd go Quentin Johnson.
I like Johnson this week. I think he's safer. Jonnu's good. But again, in this home situation, like if I like Waddle and John, who's been playing better than Waddle, if I like Waddle this week, then I think I have to downgrade John.
Yeah.
And then Quentin Johnson's in a great matchup, and he's on a scoring streak.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Juan said Ertz or Kittle. I think we both agree Kittle.
Yeah.
Aiden said, can I get away with playing 3 people from Sunday night? The night game is
Eagles Rams, right?
Yeah, I mean, should be fine. Yeah, no, it is Eagles Rams. It is.
Yeah.
Too Short is answering somebody else on Twitch. Mind Yours said got Tracy and Chuba at running backs. JK in the flex. Have Dell, McBride, JMO on the bench. Keep as is or make any recommendations. I'm starting McBride over Chuba. And JK Dobbins. Yeah, I would put JK in the RB2 spot, and I would put McBride in the flex.
Tracy's a must. I think, JK is in a tough matchup. Chuba is in a tough matchup, and Brooks is back. Is there a world where if you need points, you flip both out for JMO and McBride? Yes. If you're only flipping one,
backs, though, do you think?
What? Oh,
yes. I don't know. I'm asking you. I just didn't know if he had to start two. I would have started JMO and McBride as well if he can start two.
If you can't do that situation, you can only flip one. Then I would do what Pete's saying and flip Chuba for McBride.
Okay. Jay Judah said, would you drop Jatavian Sanders for Luabe or Abdullah? I already have Disley. I think Jatavian Sanders is going to go over his prop today, but I'm not excited to start him. I will tell you that I prefer Abdullah. Anthony might prefer Luabe, but
I don't prefer either.
Well, if you had to start one, I would start Roschon Johnson over both.
I would start Jatavian over both and start two tight ends. Yeah, I mean, he gets Kansas City. It's just a matchup play, and he's kind of been coming on a little bit.
Okay, yeah. Honestly, I can be swayed on that. I could definitely be swayed on that. All right. So a couple thank yous in the chat. No problem. Fan First said, got skipped. Ouch. Yeah, no, we just told people to send in their question again because we were pretty backed up after getting through our super chats. Send in your question and I'll make sure we answer it in the next few minutes here. Stephen Grice said many bye weeks and a soft start by Pickens for me. Looking for advice on 2 flex, 1 tight end, full PPR, Jennings, McConkey, Downs, Disley, or Jonnu. Pretty simple for me. McConkey, Downs, Disley.
Yeah, McConkey, Downs. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Dakota said, do I start Will Disley over Kate Otten or George Kittle? We answered that before, and then he sent in a super chat. We both said Kittle.
Yeah.
Jacob Anders said Ertz, Disley, or Hunter Henry at tight end PPR. Disley.
Disley slightly over Henry.
Okay. Same. Victor Blanco said Amir Abdullah, Eckler, Roschon Johnson.
Eckler.
Yep. Are you starting Malik or just plug in Jennings or Watson?
Malik.
Yeah. Is Romeo Dobbs droppable for Dunze? I would say yes.
Yeah. Dunze could start coming on, and this passing offense could start coming on with the OC change. I think that's big.
Yeah. Dakota said flex 1, Kittle, Kittle, Disley, Myers, or Dobbs. So this was kind of similar to his other question. We said we'd start Kittle if it's between those tight ends. If it's between all of this group of guys, I'd still start Kittle, but I would start Disley over Myers and Dobbs.
Same.
Okay. Sleepy said, here's a question. Who is the better start? Keenan Allen, Nick Westbrook, Akine, Joshua Palmer, Adam Thielen. Give me a Westbrook, Akine.
Westbrook. And that's a good matchup against Houston.
It is. They give up a lot of chunk plays. And that's pretty much where he's made his money. Spencer Hayes says, thank you. Great show. Appreciate you dropping in. Jose said, Ladd questionable. Should I start Jennings or DJ Moore? I would roll the dice with Ladd playing. I think he's going to play.
If you didn't risk it, it's Moore.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. I don't know, man. Said Chubb or Eckler.
Eckler against Dallas.
Trivs.com said, just tuning in, 2 leagues affected by Purdy, Worthy, Noah Brown, or Debo, and Jennings or Dunze. I'm going to start Debo, and I would start a Dunze over Jennings today.
Yeah, I don't try. I trust Debo more than I trust Jennings, so I'll go Debo and a Dunze as well.
Okay. King J said Reed or DJ Moore in the flex. Give me DJ Moore.
Moore.
Raphael said flex Bucky or D-Hop. Bucky for me. Okay. Buccaneers DST or Lions DST. We answered this before. We said Lions. Yeah. Strategy said who to start at the flex PPR, Debo, Javonte, or Eckler. That's tough.
I said Javonte to a Debo Javonte question earlier, I think, but here I might go Eckler.
I'm starting Debo.
I'm good with one of the running backs. I like Javonte, but I trust Eckler more. But I like Javonte a lot. But I know Eckler, like he's going to give us at least 10. And if he scores, maybe 6, more.
Yeah. All right. We are almost to the bottom of questions, so that is good. Zach Salter said start, sit, Mike Evans or Kareem Hunt. I'm starting Evans. Must win week. I'm favored by 10 points, and
Evans.
I'm playing against Baker Mayfield. That's also a nice hedge against Baker too.
Definitely Evans. And I like both, but Evans, I've been way, I've been on him all week.
Yeah. I think LBA sent this in already. Johnu or Quentin. I think we both said Quentin Johnston.
Yes.
Okay. Rich Paparazzan said non-PPR, but half point premium tight end. Okay. So he gets extra for tight ends. Need 4 to play. I would start Bowers and McBride since it's a premium. I would start DK, and then I would start Zay Flowers.
I would do everything but Ridley over Flowers against Houston.
See that. Yeah, I could see that. Over the Moon said, who do I flex? Jameson Williams or Bucky Irving? I'm going Bucky.
Bucky here. I thought that was Javonte for a second, but I would go Bucky over Jameson.
Mine here said Roquan Smith is out for Baltimore, so JK has a little bit easier of a go. Yeah, that's a good point. Shelton Mayfield says week 12
Disley.
Tight end. Yeah, Disley. Strategy, who to start? Flex PPR. I think we answered this already. I said Debo. You said Javonte. You said
I said one of the running backs. I would go Eckler, but I like both running backs.
Okay. Mento 99 says, hello, guys. Flex spot, Dallas Goedert, Jawan Jennings. Give me Dallas Goedert today, man.
No Devonta Smith. Good matchup against the Rams, and he usually does well when Devonta is out.
Yeah. Jason Poole said Kittle or Otten, flex Aaron Jones or JMO. Give me Kittle and give me Jameson Williams.
Kittle and JMO here.
Okay. Trivia.com said Worthy, Noah Brown, or Jennings. Give me Worthy.
Worthy.
Okay. Flex one, Debo, Worthy, or Noah Brown, also Jennings or Rome. I think we answered this already.
Yeah.
Rome.
Debo and Rome.
Oh, yeah. He said, thanks, guys. Sam Trigg, we're getting very close to the bottom here, and then we're getting out of here. We have a couple more questions. Sam Trigg said, good morning, guys. Start one PPR, scared Terry Neighbor or Brian Robinson. Give me Terry McLaurin today.
I'll go Neighbors.
Okay. Ghostman said, should I drop Abdullah and pick up Westbrook Kine? I would. He's been really good. Abdullah, I don't know how much relevancy he'll have rest of the season.
Yeah, I like Westbrook Kine rest of the season as well. The only thing that could affect him is Treylon Burks, but Burks is still out for the moment.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about stacking players? I'm starting Downs and I'm stuck between May and AR. I'm having reservations because I'm not sure the risk of AR and Downs. Yeah, I mean, if you don't want the risk, start May because to Anthony's point before, like if there's volatility and risk, like AR could have a bad game, but Downs could have 4 catches for 90 yards. If you're willing to take the risk, depending on your matchup, I would start AR, but if not, I would go with May.
In this situation, I kind of like AR more.
Me too.
Miami's defense is playing well.
They have been. Richie Johnson said non-PPR half point tight end premium. Okay, yeah, we answered this already, Ricky. We said Bowers, Trey McBride. I said Zay Flowers. Anthony said Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
Scotty from Twitch said Jackson Smith and Jigba or Tyron Tracy. Give me Tracy.
Tracy as well, slightly though.
Okay. Richie Johnson said, love the show, by the way. Beautiful. And Fam First did come back. So I'm going to give you the next question here. I said CD, Marvin Harrison Jr., Bucky, or Swift. Start 2 PPR, LOL. I'm not starting Swift. Vikings saw an interesting stat. Vikings have the highest stuff rate in the NFL, and Swift has the highest stuffed rate in the NFL. And Roshan Johnson's coming along. Give me Bucky. And give me Marv and Bucky over CD.
I'll do the same, Bucky and Marv.
Yeah, all good. Colin Stewart said ladder Mike Evans, both questionable. I would go Mike Evans.
Evans as well.
Okay. Trivia.com said you can ignore my others. Sorry, I asked again. We already answered them. It's fine. Fernando, Luis. Once we get to King, we are out. What's up? Question: JSN or James Conner at the flex? Give me James Conner. Should I start Bo Nix or Baker Mayfield? I would.
I like Knicks.
Yeah, I like Knicks as well. And then the last questions here: Seibert or Will Lutz both seem to be in a good position to start this week. I would go with Seibert.
Same.
Okay, I think that's it.
Yeah, guys, this was a great show. Thanks to everybody who sent super chats. Thanks to everybody who showed up and asked questions. I think we had like over 160 questions today, so that's amazing. But we'll be back tomorrow with our week 12 reaction show, 6 p.m. Eastern. But for Pete and myself, this is the Face Off Sports Network. We'll see you tomorrow night.